Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I am Nizmah Hafidzah and my partner is Desylia Ika Putri. We are from Group 10. Today we want to explain about useful phrases, generic. A phrase is a combination or a pair of many words in English which have meaning but are not subject and verb pattern. In addition to the useful phrases listed in this chapter, using standard phrases enables you to be sure that at least the beginnings and ends of your emails are correct. Then in the body of the email, it is advisable not to experiment too much with your English. Useful phrases, generic in initial salutation. The first one is standard. You can write Dear James, Dear Desi, or Dear Mr. Bond, Dear Miss Desi. Second is initial salutation of someone you know well. You can write Hi, Hi there, hope you're keeping well, or hope all is well. Third is group or team. You can write Dear all, or Hi all, or Hi everybody. Next is a specific role. You can write Dear Human Resource Manager or Dear Sales Manager. Next is someone or some people whose name or job position you don't know. You can write hello or good morning or Dear Sir or Madam.
So hello guys, now I want to tell you about ways of introducing yourself to people who don't know you. The first is college in the same company. You can write Good morning, I work with Hans in business development. I'm responsible for blah blah blah. Or you can write Hi Nizmah, it's nice to meet you. I'm Desylia in the accounts department. And second is potential client explaining your company and position. You can write in a letter or email, maybe like, my name is Desylia. I look after the position for a company in Jakarta. Or maybe you can write like, I'm writing to inquire whether you might interested in buying blah blah blah. And the next is someone you have met only once. You can write like, you may remember we met last year, blah blah blah. Or you can write, you may recall being in contact last year, blah blah blah. And the next is checking that the recipient is the right contact person. You can write like, I don't know if you are the right person to ask, but blah blah blah. Or you can write like, if you are not the right person, please could you let me know who I should contact. And the next is saying where you found the recipient name. Maybe you can write like, we were given your address by a mutual acquaintance, Miss Anna. Or you can write, I saw your company staying at the Bahrain Expo and I would like to have an opportunity, blah blah blah. And the next is saying how you know about the recipient company. You can write like, your firm has been recommended to us by blah blah blah.
Next is make an inquiry, first contact. For beginning, you can write, I'm writing to you because blah blah blah, or I was wondering if by any chance you blah blah blah. And for ending, you can write, we look forward to hearing from you soon, or Any information you could give us would be very much appreciated.
So now it's about responding to an inquiry. The first is thanking. You can say thank you for your interest in blah blah blah, or thank you for your letter of blah blah blah, or you can write thank you for your letter of the blah blah blah, and have much pleasure in replying to your various questions as follows blah blah blah. And the next is saying what you have done or will do. You can write in reply to your letter or inquiry of the blah blah blah, we wish to inform you that blah blah blah. Or you can write as agreed, please find attached blah blah blah. And the next is asking for details. You can write, please advise us as soon as possible how you wish to proceed. Or you can write, before we can do anything, we need blah blah blah. And the next is adding details. You can write, please note that blah blah blah. Or I also like to take this opportunity to bring to your attention blah blah blah. And then is telling client they can ask for further info. It's like please feel free to email, fax, or call if you have any question. Or you can write like, please don't hesitate to contact us should you need any further information. And the last is ending. You can write, once again, thank you for your inquiry, like that.
Next is making reference to previous correspondence. Reference to previous mail or phone call or conversation, you can write re your inquiry blah blah blah, or regarding blah blah blah, or in relation to blah blah blah. For reference to the main body of their email or letter or fax, you can write in accordance with your instruction we blah blah blah, or we note your remarks re blah blah blah, or we understand that blah blah blah. And the last is reference to cross email or letter or fax. You can write, sorry, but it looks as if our emails got crossed. In any case, here's the information you require.
So now is first about making requests to people who already know you. The first is requesting help or advice. You can write like, please could you blah blah blah, or would you have any suggestion on how to blah blah blah. Or maybe you can write, have you any thoughts on this blah blah blah. And next is showing awareness that you are taking up recipient's times. It's like, I realize you must be very busy at the moment, but if you could spare a moment, I would be most grateful. Or you can write, clearly, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but if you could blah blah blah. And the next is specifying what you have to attach and what recipients are expected to do. It's like, I have attached our terms and conditions for your review. Or you can write, I welcome any suggestion that you may have regarding. Or you can write, in any case, it would be great if you could let me know what change to be made. And the last is concluding. You can write, I look forward to hearing your thoughts, or I would be grateful to hear your comments.
Next is making announcement and giving instruction. For announcing decision, you can write, to all concerned, we are now moving forward on blah blah blah, or the following issue and minutes are based on my meeting with blah blah blah. Next, telling recipients how you want them to proceed. You can write, could you please blah blah blah, or please have a look at blah blah blah. Last is asking for a reply. You can write, I look forward to hearing from you in the near future, or I look forward to hearing from you soon, or please could you get back to me by the end of today.
So now I want to tell about replies to requests from people who you know. The first is friendly beginning. It's like you can write like, great to hear from you. I have a chat with blah 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 and blah blah blah. Or you can write, nice to hear from you again. And the next is neutral beginning. Maybe you can write, thanks for your email. I'll look into it and send you a reply by the end of the week. And then is accepting. You can write, no problem, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or maybe you can write, I'm happy to help out with blah blah blah. And the next is explaining why you cannot help. It's like, I'm sorry, but, or you can write, I wanna help, but I have opportunity for blah blah blah. And next is asking for further details. You can write like, before we can do anything, I need a few more details. Or you can write like, do you want me to blah blah blah? Or would you like me to blah blah blah. And the next is telling recipient when you will reply. It's like, I'll get back to you before the end of the day, or I'm sorry but I won't not be able to give you any response until December. Or yeah. Next
is replying on behalf of someone else. The first one is explaining you are not the right person. You can write, I'm not the person you need to contact. I will forward your request to Desi, who is our head of sales. If you wish, you can contact her directly on blah blah blah. Next is when someone has asked you to do something. You can write, I have been instructed by Desylia Ika to blah blah blah, or we have been informed by blah blah blah. And the last is when someone's request has been passed on to you. You can write, thank you for sending us this file, which was passed to me by my colleague Desylia Ika. I have recently moved from our art and the division where I was responsible for blah blah blah. Or you can write, your message has been forwarded to me, I am the blah blah blah, I will be happy to blah blah blah.
So now is replying to someone who has just replied to you. The first is initial thanks. You can write, thank you for getting back to me, or thanks for the quick response, or wow, that was quick. And next is expressing your appreciation. Maybe you can write, your comments are really useful, thank you so much. Or you can write, I very appreciate you taking the time to deal with this. And the last is concluding. You can write, thanks again for all your help, or once again, thank you very much. And then next
is chasing. For soft approach, you can write, I was wondering if you had time to look at my email that 6 June, or see below. Or you can write, did you get my last message sent on blah blah blah. For stronger approach, you can write, could you let me have an answer as soon as possible to the question I raised in my email. of last week, or see message below, or you can write, this is the third time we have raised this problem.
So now is responding to a chase. You can write for the apologizing, like, I'm sorry it has taken me so long to get back to you, but blah blah blah, or my sincerely apologize, or you can write, we apologize for the delay in replying to your email date, blah blah blah. And the next is asking for patience. You can write, thanks for the reminder. I have not forgotten, but it has been difficult for us to make time to meet and discuss about it. Or you can write, if you can here with us, we will get around it very soon. And the last is saying when you plan to take action. You can write, I will give it top priority as of tomorrow morning. Or you can write like, my aim is to get this authorized by close of business Friday.
Next is reporting on progress and updating. For beginning, you can write just a quick update on blah blah blah, or just to let you know that blah blah blah. For saying who you have contacted, you can write, I spoke to Desi yesterday and she said that blah blah blah, or I have spoken to Desi and she says that blah blah blah. For saying what you have learned from others, you can write, Darren has just told me that blah blah blah, or we have been informed that blah blah blah. For saying what you have done, you can write, I have looked into the matter and have taken measure to blah blah blah, or at least board meeting it was decided to blah blah blah. For saying what you will do next, you can write, I will send you all the details re blah 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 in due course. For reporting what you said you will do, you can write, I said that I will check on this and would get back to him, or I advised him that blah blah blah. For asking information if what you have done is acceptable, you can write, I hope that is okay. If not, please rise with Desi, or is that okay? Next is stating what action you expect from recipient. You can write, could you please call him to give him this information once you get in? Or will you check with her that this is okay? And the last is asking to be kept informed. You can write, keep us informed of any developments, or please keep me posted.
So guys, now it's about contact details. The first is asking for, it's like, please let me know, have your full address so I can send you the service or product. Or you can write, please could you tell me who I should contact regarding. And the next is giving. Maybe you can write, please contact us, our help desk at blah blah blah. Or you can write, the contact person is blah blah blah. Or maybe you can write, my contact details are as follows. Next.
Okay, next is invitation. For making invitation, you can write, are you free for lunch on Monday? Or are you able to join us on Friday? We are having dinner to discuss blah blah blah. For accepting invitation, you can write, I would love to come, or I accept with pleasure. For declining invitation, you can write, sorry but I cannot make it that day, or sorry but I will be on holiday then. And the last is declining after initially accepting. You can write, sorry but I am going to have to cancel lunch next week, or due to family problems I am sorry to inform you that I am no longer able to attend the meeting on blah blah blah.
So now is making arrangement. The first is asking a meeting or phone call. You can write like, let's arrange to meet and we can discuss about something. Or you can write, can we arrange a meeting on Wednesday? Or maybe you can write, would it be possible for us to meet on Monday? And the next is requesting training demo or another. It's like, when would you be free? Come in and give us a presentation on your solution. Please let me know when you are available. Or you can write like, I'm emailing you as I'm planning to come to place next week. And the next is suggesting the time. It's like, how about Wednesday? After lunch, we'll try and call you Monday to confirm. Or you can write, would Wednesday after lunch with you? I will contact you again on Monday to confirm. And the last is asking for confirmation. Maybe you can write, let me know suitable time if you think this is a good idea, and if you have any ideas or thoughts. And next
is fixing the time. For initial reply to request for meeting or phone call, you can write, I would love to discuss. Let's schedule some time. Or you can write, that sounds like a great idea. Friday morning will be good for me. Next, for unavailability at that time, you can write, would love to meet, but not this week. I can manage November 17 or 17 if either of those should. For changing that time, you can write, sorry, cannot make the meeting at 13. Can we change it to 16? Let me know. And the last is confirming the time. You can write, I look forward to seeing you on 13 November, or okay, Wednesday, March 10 at 11. I look forward to seeing you then.
And the next is giving direct on how to reach your office. So it's about send a letter or email if someone who want to go to your office. Maybe you can write, to get here the best thing would be to take a taxi. Or you can write, the nearest airport is Pisa, which is only a 10 minutes taxi drive from our office. So next
is favors or giving help. For asking, you can write, please could you blah blah blah, or I was wondering if by any chance you blah blah blah. And for accepting, you can write, no problem, I will get back to you as soon as blah blah blah, or I will be happy to help. And the last is refusing. You can write, I'm sorry but blah blah blah, or I would like to help but blah blah blah.
So now about praise of thanking. The first is for initial contact. Maybe you can write, thank you for visiting our website. And then for quick response, maybe you can write, thank you for your quick response. And the next is for feedback, suggestion, or advice. You can write, thank you for your suggestion, thank you for your advice. Next is for help with work done together on site. Maybe you can write, thanks again, and I hope we will have an opportunity to meet again. And the next is in advance. Maybe you can write, I thank you in advance your cooperation. And the last is ending the message. You can write, thanks for your help, or thank you for this matter, like that. Next.
Next is opinions. For expressing opinions, you can write I think blah 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 or I'm much in favor of blah blah blah. For agreeing, you can write okay or fine or right or yes, I agree. For disagreeing, you can write I'm not sure, I agree with you about blah 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 or I think that we probably see things rather differently. For making suggestion, you can write the only solution might be for blah 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 to do blah 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 or it seems to me that there is a simple way of putting this right. And the last is asking for suggestion. You can write if you have any suggestion to make blah blah blah, I would be glad to hear them or what do you recommend it?
So guys, now it's about asking for and giving clarification. The first is asking for clarification. Maybe you can write, what exactly do you mean about blah blah blah? The second is checking that you have understood. You can write, I'm assuming you mean blah blah blah. And the third is giving clarification. When the reader tells you he or she didn't understand, you can write like, what I mean by blah 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 is blah blah blah. And the next is giving clarification. When you realize reader didn't understand what you mean, maybe you can write, sorry about the confusion, what I actually mean of blah 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 is blah blah blah. And the next is giving clarification. When you realize later that you have not been clear, you can write like, I've just read the message I sent to you and I think I not too clearly about that. So there is my point. And the next is hoping you have been clear in your clarification. You can write, let me know if there is still something that is not clear. And the last is replying when you have been given clarification. You can write like, okay, I'm clear now. Okay, I'm understood. Okay, I understand what you mean. Next.
Next is apologizing. For not answering an email, you can write sorry for the delay in getting back to you or I've been away for the last few days. For expressing regret in general, you can write I'm sorry to inform you that blah 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 or I'm sorry that I cannot give you a more specific reply. For your email not arriving, you can write for some reason my last email had delivery problems. So here is again just in case you didn't get it the first time round. For bothering someone again, you can write sorry to bother you again. Next, for sending a blank email, you can write sorry I accidentally hit the send button. Next, for a misunderstanding, you can write okay, I'm sorry, you are right, I misunderstood or sorry for the confusion. And the last is for not being able to say goodbye after one side meeting. You can write, I'm really sorry that I missed saying goodbye to you yesterday. And for repeating apology at end of mail, you can write again sorry for the delay. Or once again, apologies for any trouble this may have caused you.
So now it's about sending document for approval. The first is asking for comments. Maybe you can write, please let me have your feedback by Friday so I can send you a draft program next week. And the next is giving a positive comments. Maybe you can write, I was really interested in your presentation. And the next is replying to comments. It's like, many thanks for this, all points is noted. or you can say, yes, I see what you mean. And the next is disguising negative comments by making a suggestion. You can write like, it might not be bad idea to blah blah blah, or have you thought about blah blah blah, or it seems that blah blah blah. Next.
Next is sending and receiving attachment, faxes, and emails. For telling recipients about your attachment, you can write I am attaching blah blah blah, or please find attach blah blah blah. Next, asking for confirmation of receipt, you can write please confirm or acknowledge receipt, or please act receipt. Next, for giving confirmation, you can write I have just received your fax, or I confirm receipt of your fax. For telling sender you couldn't read the mails or attachment, you can write sorry I couldn't read your mail, or I received your mail but I'm afraid I cannot open the file. For telling the sender they forget to do something, you can write thanks for your mail but I'm afraid you forgot to send the attachment, or we received your message that 25 September but you omit to send details of blah blah blah. For apologizing for forgetting to send attachment, you can write sorry I just sent an email without the promised attachment. And the last is sending attachment again. You can write sorry about the problems, here's the attachment again, let me know if you still cannot read it.
So guys, now it's about fax transmission and scans. The first is problem in sending. Maybe you can write I have tried to send your fax several times but have been unable to get through. And second is receiving, is problem in receiving. And maybe you can write could you send the fax again, because it was too faint to read. And the last is asking for confirmation of arrival. Maybe you can write I sent our order today by fax, I hope you receive it successfully. Next.
Next is phone calls. For problems in contacting someone, you can write I have been trying to contact you over the phone but with no luck, blah blah blah, or I have left several messages with your secretary but blah blah blah. Next, for making reference to a phone call, you can write with reference to our phone call of blah blah blah, or re our phone call this morning blah blah blah. For following up a call, you can write thanks for ringing me yesterday, or it was good to speak to you this morning.
So guys, now it's about booking hotel rooms. Maybe you can write like this. I would like to book 2 single rooms with bath in the name of Desylia and Nizmah, arriving 10 March, leaving 12 March, but guests will be arriving at around 19:30 on March 10. Please could you email me confirmation or fax me on blah 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 blah.
Next is circular emails. Out of office message, you can write I am out of the office all day today but will get back to you tomorrow, re any urgent message. For change of address or phone etc., you can write please note that as of now my email address is, or we have today moved to blah blah blah. Next, for announcing celebration, you can write to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the founding of our company, we blah blah blah, or to celebrate 10 years of business with you, we would like to offer you an exceptional discount of 20% on all our product range.
So now it's about chit chat with your colleague you know well. So in the beginning of email, you can write like, "How are things? How did your holiday?" Or "How was the match? Did you win?" So uh, in the end of the email, you can write like, "Have a great weekend," or "Enjoy your holiday," or "I look forward to hearing from you. Wish you a lovely week ahead." Next.
Next is sending regards and wishes. For sending regards to third parties, you can write say hello to blah 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 or please send my regards to blah blah blah. For sending regards on behalf of a third party, you can write Desi says hello or Miss Desi sends her kindest regards. For sending holiday wishes, you can write have a great Thanksgiving or have a nice weekend. And the last is for health problems and condolences. You can write I was really sorry to hear about blah blah blah, or I can imagine this must be a very difficult time for you, blah blah blah.
So guys, now it's about final salutation. The first is neutral. You can write like best regrets or kind regrets or best wishes. And the next is formal business letter. You can write like yours faithfully, your sincerely, or maybe sincerely yours. And the last is informal. You can write like all the best or happy weekend or see you in holiday, like that. So guys, I think it's enough for now. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry for the mistakes and bye.